So today we are going to talk about a concept called auto scaling. Okay, auto scaling means it is one of the feature available in cloud. Okay, so as and when the requirements comes, your compute will increase its compute capacity or decreases its capacity when there is no requirement. So auto scale, the definition is the ability of the feature which allow you to have the required resources available to handle the load on your application whenever there is a requirement. The best example is on a big billion day, maybe Flipkart or Amazon, they observe lot of customer comes to their network, their website, and they do shopping on the big billion day, thinking that they get good discounts. Correct, na? So to ensure to give the better performance or better feeling, shopping feeling, what we will do, we will bring in this auto scaling option so that we will not use the customers. Okay, so that auto scaling allow you to add the resources whenever there is a requirement increases. Say for example, if you were, so you will decide or define some condition. Okay, currently I have two application servers, and if the application servers, the performance, both CPU and memory performance reaches 60% or 70%, then you will tell your auto scaling feature to increase its capacity, because you have to ensure, you have to ensure to give better performance or better feeling for the customers, right? So what happens if the utilization is goes 70% or 75% or 80%, it depends on your business case or business requirement. You can define, okay, as and when the CPU and memory of the compute reaches 70 or 75%, then parallelly either you can build a new application server, or you have to increase the capacity of the compute from 4 CPU to 8 CPU, or from 8 GB memory to 16 GB memory, so that the users who's browsing the application, he will not feel anything about the performance. No latency or better performance it will maintain. Okay, that is called as auto scaling. Okay, so if I move on to the next slide, I talk about the conditions. So I told you, right, you can define the condition. You can specify minimum and maximum number of instances. Say for example, you know that regularly around 10,000 users access an application. Maybe on a big billion day, it may go to lakhs together of computers. And you know, one compute of 8 CPU and 16 GB memory, how many users it occupies or it accommodates. So knowing the previous history of your application usage, you will define, okay, maximum I should go up to 25 or 30 virtual machines can be triggered, provided the new server or the new application should get built only when the condition meets. What is the condition? The CPU and the memory performance or the utilization should be reaching this much. Currently I have two virtual machines. If my application usage is going more than 80-85%, then parallelly build one more virtual machine. If all the three virtual machines are again reaching 85%, then build a fourth virtual machine with the same configuration, same image, with the same application configured in it. So like that, you can define what is the minimum number of virtual machines it should always have, or what is the maximum number of virtual machine it can go up to. And then you can, while reducing also, you will define, okay, if the virtual machine utilization comes less than 75%, then reduce the virtual machine by 1 or by 2. Like that, you can define the condition. If there is no usage at all, it will just come and keep the virtual machines only for two numbers, because you have defined minimum is 2, maximum is 5. Okay, that is how the conditions you can define in the auto scaling. So there are two types of scaling are there. One is horizontal scaling, another one is vertical scaling. The horizontal one, it increases or decreases the number of virtual machine as per the situation or as per the requirement. Means you have two virtual machines. If you go with horizontal, the third and fourth and fifth virtual machines will be parallelly building, and it will be added behind the load balancer or application gateway. Okay, that is called as horizontal. In case of horizontal scaling, you don't have the business downtime, because there you are not shutting down the computer to increase the capacity of it. There you are building additional resources. Say for example, there are two engineers at the office and there is a conference for a month. During that conference we may get lot of tickets. So what we will do, we will add some backup engineers or additional engineers for that 1 month of time. So he will be there. Additionally, already two engineers are there. I am going to add one or two more engineers only for that particular month. After the conference is over, I can send that two engineers back. So there is no disturbance for the existing resources. So the same thing goes. Horizontal means the number of virtual machines will be increased or decreased according to the condition that you define. But when I say vertical, there is another scaling called vertical. Vertical means there is no change in the number of virtual machines. The number of virtual machines remains the same. If you define there are two virtual machines, there will be only two virtual machines irrespective of the usage goes. But there we will increase either the CPU or the memory or both. Means the same virtual machine. Today we have two CPU, 4 GB memory, and you define whenever the usage goes to 80%, increase the CPU from 2 to 4 and memory from 4 to 8 GB. That time the computer will get restarted. The server will get restarted when it increases the capacity of its or the configuration of its. That is called as vertical. So most of the people prefer horizontal, because horizontal, if you go, there is no business downtime, there is no application downtime. But if you go vertical, the computer will get restarted. Suppose if it is taking 2-3 minutes for restarting, for the 2-3 minutes people will not be able to browse the application. So they will not have the application available. That is the difference. So scaling means there are two scalings, horizontal and vertical. Vertical means parallelly number of virtual machines get increases depend upon the condition. But in case of virtual, the virtual machine numbers, in case of vertical, the virtual machine numbers remain same. But the configuration of the computes will be increases or decreases according to the requirement. And we need to restart the computer, or the computer will get restarted when you go with vertical scaling, or when you are adding or removing the resources from 2 to 4 CPU or from 4 GB to 8 GB memory. When you are increasing, that time also the computer will get restarted. And when after the application get reduced, the usage got reduced, that time also the performance, the computer get restarted to decrease from 8 GB memory to 4 GB, and from 4 CPU to 2 CPU to reduce also, the computer will get restarted. So that is about the scaling. If you look at here this picture, if condition meets, increases or decreases the resources when you go with the first option. If you go with the first option, you see I have mentioned here the computer size, the size of the computer will increases. Today you have 2 CPU, it has become 4 CPU, it has become 8 CPU. You see the size of the computer is getting increases here. Means same virtual machine, but the same virtual machine's size is getting increases. It increases the instance of RAM and CPU. The size of the instances, it increases. But in case of horizontal, you see there are parallel virtual machines get built. See the condition what I have given. Condition, if the CPU goes more than or greater than 80%, increases the virtual machine by one number. That is called as scale out. Scale out means increases. If the total utilization is less than 20%, then decreases the virtual machine by one number. That is called as scale-in. Scale-in means reducing the size or reducing the number of virtual machines. Scale-out means increasing the size or increasing the number of virtual machines. Okay, that is the difference between vertical and horizontal scaling. This is the pictorial representation. It is easy for understanding. Okay, you see here the same thing. Scale out means increases the size or VM numbers. Scale in means reduces the size or virtual machine numbers. And you see note here, VNet, see note, VNet to be specified during the scale set creation to place the VMs after auto scaling means you have to define which resource group, which virtual network, you have to build a virtual machine. Okay, and based on that, it build a new virtual machine, the same VNet. Okay, and it will be available to serve the application. And you can public IP address per instance is that you can on and off, you can make it. Okay, it has to be always off. You should not have any public IP assigned for each and every instances. Okay, that's it about the scaling or auto scaling, guys. Let me stop the recording and then I'll take you questions if you have. Thank you all.